And there he is, everybody. Shuttle to events make for high ridership and reduce congestion. Also, they are right. Here's our hero, Mr. Ozzy Gonzalez. Yeah, he's getting some views. Some views there, Ozzy. Oh, God help us. All right. We're going to go back to this now before I go to my scanner part of my day and see what's up on the agenda for the unaccountable elites. We're handing out your tax money to all kinds of people for reasons that have no effect on your life. So let's keep going.
We look forward to a ribbon cutting.
Why is the reception so
Yeah.
bad?
All right. Now we're moving to
Oh, there it goes.
resolution number 5 on my agenda. This is resolution 23 06 28, authoring an exemption from competitive bidding for a contract for construction services for the Willamette Shoreline Trolley Trestle Repair Project. Now, let's see here. I've got a note here to
Where is it?
pause the Board of Directors meeting. Okay, yes. To do these next two things, I must pause the Board of Directors meeting in our capacity and open up the TRIMET Contract Review Board.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Can you believe how stupid this whole bureaucracy is? Well, we got to close the board and we have to now call ourselves the Contract Review Board because this is how the law is set up. This is how confusing they make everything. So the public can't figure out what the hell's going on. So what I didn't even know that TriMet had anything to do with that Willamette Shore trolley until now. So they want a exemption. So in other words, they have somebody they want to give the money to already. So existing Willamette Shore Railroad corridor, which is some kind of tourist thing, extends from Portland's south waterfront to Lake Oswego along the western bank of the Willamette River. It's owned by the Willamette Shore Line Consortium, which consists of 4 partners, cities of Lake Oswego and Portland, TriMet, and Metro. Happy little family right there. Oregon Electric Railway Historical Center runs the thing. Within the consortium, TriMet is responsible for providing routine inspections and evaluating, among other things, the structural integrity of the wooden trestles. When issues arise, TriMet oversees implementation of the solutions, which may include design, permitting, repairs, construction, blah, blah, blah. These efforts preserve and maintain infrastructure to support the continued rail operations. The most recent repair of the trestles was in 2016. I don't remember that. In 2020, inspection of the trestles identified new repairs. As a result, TriMet has suspended trolley operations that pass over the trestles of concern. Oh, so the thing hasn't even been running, I guess. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Project will repair the failings described here. Okay, how much? How much? How much? Okay, now here's where it is. TCRB Rule V, subsection A, and ORS 279C.335, subsection 2, provides that the board, acting in its capacity as the TriMet Contract Review Board, may exempt a contract from competitive sealed bidding upon approval of written findings of the agency. Exemption is unlikely to encourage favoritism. Oh, right. I mean, it's like right in front of your face. They're telling you a lie. If you exempt low bidding, that's automatically encouraging favoritism. And here they're saying the exemption is unlikely to encourage favoritism. It's like they're telling you a misnomer right in front of your face. If you have no competitive bidding, that means it's favoritism. That's the definition of favoritism. Ah, okay. Two, awarding a public improvement contract will likely result in substantial cost savings and other. Well, how are you going to know that if you don't have competitive bidding on it? How do you know if you save anything? How do you know this? An exemption from low bidding is required to enable to select its contractor using a competitive RFP process. What the fuck? Under traditional low bid procurement, TRIMET may only consider price. Oh, I see. I see. The competitive RFP process instead. So it's not, they don't just hand it out to their favorite guy. Although there's still some kind of competitive thing here, but they don't have to do low bid. Yeah. I'm against this. It doesn't even say how much it is. There's no price in here. So how are we supposed to? Oh, pursuant to this, Trent must hold public comment hearing. Notification of the public hearing was on the draft finding was published in the Daily Commerce Journal, and the hearing was held on May 17th. There were no attendees and no comments. Well, I never heard about it. So wherever you have to, this is a subscription magazine, by the way. You have to pay to get that. So that's all a fraud. Let's hear what they say.
So, with the authority vested in me, I would like to now open up the TriMet Contract Review Board. And with that, we will consider the next two resolutions, beginning with Resolution 23-06-28, authorizing an exemption for competitive bidding for a contract for construction services for the Willamette Shoreline Trolley Trestle Repair Project. Mr. General Manager, your comments, please.
Thanks, Presiding Officer Gonzalez, members of the board. The Willamette Shoreline Trolley is owned.
Why are you calling him presiding officer? Is he not the president? Is that what's going on here? He hasn't been elected president yet?
By a consortium of 4 partners, the cities of Portland, Lake
Look, he's just reading it right off like I did. He reads it right off the paper. It's hilarious.
Oswego, Metro, and TriMet. One of TriMet's roles in this partnership is to provide routine inspections of the corridor where the trolley runs. When issues arise, it's TriMet's responsibility to oversee the
Well, if I knew you were going to read the exact same thing I read, I wouldn't have bothered reading it.
implementation of solutions. This can include design, permitting, construction activities. This particular resolution looks to the board for an exemption to competitive bidding requirements for the repairs required by this project. If approved, TriMet would pursue a competitive request for proposals. This would allow for consideration of experience and similar work in addition to price when selecting the contractor. We believe this project is unique. The board approval of the resolution will allow TriMet to select a contractor with the skill and demonstrated ability to handle this highly specialized railroad repair work while
What do you mean highly specialized? It's railroad repair work. I mean, there's probably a lot of places that do that.
managing tight timelines with a strict budget.
Yeah,
So the
sure.
cost of the work is included in our FY24
Where
engineering and construction and planning budget, and I recommend your approval.
there's no cost in there.
Thank
There's no cost in your. There's no cost in this here. There's no cost. Maybe I didn't go. Look, no cost. Isn't the cost supposed to be in here? I don't get it, man. The cost of the work. They don't tell you what the cost is. So that's very suspicious. As you've noticed in other resolutions, they tell you what the cost of the thing is, but here they don't. I don't understand.
Thank you, General Manager Dessou. Before I open up for discussion, do we have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved, Kim.
Thank you, Director Kim.
Second.
We have a second. Thank you, Director Edwards.
Have you noticed Kathy's been awfully quiet in this meeting? Like nothing. She gave her board report, and that was it.
Now I'd like to open it up for discussion. Any questions or comments from the board? Director Y?
Oh, as I said that, she makes a comment.
Thank you. I just have a very simple question because, as General Manager Dessou said, we don't come across these types of very specialized projects very much. So my question is, what exactly does this shoreline railroad carry? Is it goods and services or?
Yeah, what the fuck is this thing? She didn't even know what it is. I didn't even know that TRIMET had anything to do with it. I thought it was strictly run by a nonprofit.
People or? I'll have staff answer. Thanks.
The Willamette Shoreline Trolley is a historic railroad that it's being kept open by the operation of the trolley service. It was purchased, I want to say, in the mid-90s, and with the objective of keeping the public transit open between Lake Oswego and Portland.
It hardly runs though, right? Well, that's not much of an answer. She asked you what it is, what does it ride, what does it do? Willamette Shore, let me look it up. Here it is. Willamette Shore Trolley. Okie dokie, from their website. Ride in a vintage trolley from Lake Oswego into a dark tunnel and meander through posh neighborhoods. You will ride on historic rail line dating from the late 1800s. The tunnel dates from 1921. At one time, the electrified interurbans ran on this line from Portland to Oswego to Hillsboro, McMinnville, and Corvallis. As you see, they had excellent public transportation at one time. It was all demolished. Two of the original cars can be found in a museum. Click here. For 223, trolleys run from downtown to south of the River Ridge. What is this? Ay, ay, ay. All right, let me go to this. Let me just click on it. It dates back to the 1880s. The 1914 line was electrified, and Red Electric Interurban Service was born. Oh, look at this trolley. I don't know. Whatever. Great answer.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. Seeing none, I'd like to open it up for the vote. All those
Yeah, nobody cares. Vote. Of course, here's money. We got money for this. Here, tourist attractions. We got money for tourist attractions, but we got no money to bring the service back. And we need more money from you peasants.
in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed?
No, nobody.
Hearing none, motion carries.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Boy, those two had a hard day's work here. Man, they just got up there, said one word, and left. Two
Okay.
six-figure executives that sat in their desks all day.
We are moving now on to resolution number 6. This is 23-06-29, authorizing an exemption from competitive bidding for a contract for construction manager, general contractor, otherwise known as CMGC services, for the Banfield Track Rehabilitation Project.
So,
Mr. General Manager,
hold
your
on.
comments, please.
I know he's going to read it right off of here. So they don't believe in any more competitive bidding. They want everything They want everything their way. So we've gone to total crony capitalism now. Okay, let's read it. TRIMET's highest speed, oldest light rail corridor, the Banfield, is located on our max line between Gateway and Lloyd. Okay. Up to half of the 39-year-old timber tines need to be replaced within the next few years. And TriMet now has an opportunity to perform approximately 25% of the Banfield corridor projected replacement work. Oh, concurrent with the already planned Better Red. So they got, this is going to be piggyback. So this is more money. They've already spent, the Better Red is like $220 million. So they want, who do they want? Using a CMGC. What is this crap? And here we go. It's unluckily the same thing as the other one. Yes, we just heard this. It's they don't tell you the price in here either. It's ridiculous.
Presiding Officer Gonzalez and members of the board, this resolution requests an exemption from the competitive low bid.
So who knows how much this one is? So plenty of money for the capital projects, no problem. We got millions and millions, hundreds of millions. But we need your 30 cents. It's insulting. Why aren't more people insulted by this?
Process. This will allow for a competitive request for proposal for construction manager, general contractor, or CMGC for improvements along a critical stretch of our MAX system.
So this is a contract to get somebody to manage the construction. It's not the contract for the construction. So this is going to be hundreds of millions too. They're just filtering that money right through your tax base, right into the hands of these contractors, man.
The selection, the section of trike that we're talking about is between.
That's why they love light rail, because it requires constant infusions of capital. Whereas a bus doesn't. Buses use roads, and roads are maintained separately. But here, light rail is this never-ending gift to this industrial complex. And you can't move it. Once it's in forever, just like that piece of shit West. Nobody rides it, but it's here forever, sucking down your tax dollars.
Lloyd neighborhood and the Gateway Transit Center. We often refer to that as the Banfield corridor, which is our oldest light rail corridor. It was constructed for our first ever MAX line, but now it carries routers on 3 different MAX lines, our blue, our green, and our red lines. As half of the wooden timber rail ties in that area, they date back to the original launch of MAX. And for those of you, that was September of 1986. So they need to be replaced in the next few years. And we're requesting an.
Why don't they use steel ties? I always wondered about that. I mean, why are they using wood in today's world?
Exemption to allow for a competitive RFP process, primarily due to the need for the large, experienced, and specialized trike contractor for this project. So securing a contractor with this type of expertise will help TriMet complete as much of the replacement work as possible with the least interruption to service. So our current intention is to do the work during the planned MAX shutdown in early 2024 for the Better Red project to minimize service disruptions.
All you have is service disruptions. That's all you have. Endless service disruptions. Endless. One part or another of the light rail lines are constantly being serviced, shut down. Now you've got the light rail red line shut down for a month, or is it 2 months? I forgot, but I mean, how inconvenient can you get?
The cost of this work is included in the FY24 maintenance budget and I strongly recommend your approval of this resolution.
Of course, so
Thank you
approved.
very much for that presentation, General Manager Dessou. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
29. Thank you, Director Kim. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director Lewis. Any questions or comments from the board?
No.
I've got a brief one. Before we move to vote, just to point out, first of all, thanks to the procurement team for bringing forward these resolutions.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I understand that we have a lot of discussions about inclusive contracting, and we're trying to do a lot of work with our local emerging business community. And I just want to underscore that, not only for sometimes specialty services, but the reality of our market is that sometimes we don't get to have the response that we were typically used to in previous years. And I understand that even for non-specialized services, it can be a challenge to get our vendors to step forward. So for that reason, I simply wanted to underscore with both of these resolutions, when we have these highly specialized services, it's good to see that our vendors are providing some inclusive subcontracting within these services. And so I applaud them for those efforts, and I highly encourage our vendors and our procurement team to emphasize the importance of priming the pump of our supply chain when they're out doing these services, whether it's in subcontracting, in apprenticeship, or any mentorship that can be provided. The more we can walk away from these projects wiser and with more people having capacity and knowledge of those systems, the stronger we are as a region. So thank you very much, and keep up the good work. And please lean on them for that inclusive
What the hell are you talking about?
and mentorship philosophy that we've been known for.
Jesus Christ.
With that, I'd like to move to the vote. All of those in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed?
Well, guess what?
Motion carries. Thank
Nobody.
you very much. And I believe
I'm done.